Hello everybody, today I'm going to talk about my bleaching experience, and as you can see it's been a while since I got my hair bleached. I actually got it bleached like a couple weeks ago at a salon. So if you guys are kind of wondering what it is to have a salon experience and you kind of want to know someone else's experience before going into a salon, this is the story for you. It's probably going to be a bit lengthy, so if you don't like lengthy videos, you might want to decide now if you want to continue or not, but it says the time in the video, so sometimes when I see people like complain about the length, I'm like, it says the length on the bottom of the video, so I don't know why you're complaining about the length when you're kind of warned beforehand. But anyways, I digress. I decided to go blonde because I just wanted a dramatic change in my life. So this is kind of like my experience, and basically before deciding on a salon I decided to look at options because price was a big thing for me. I didn't want to spend too much, and I also wanted to make sure I had like a feel for the salon and make sure that the people appeared professional and like they knew what they were doing. And so I really liked the salon I chose because they had like this nice website set up that looked very professional, and so I already got this professional vibe from them, forgive me, and I went in there and I also got that professional vibe, and it also had this just aura about it where I felt like this was the place I was going to get my hair done. And also I liked the way the people working there approached me and um, made time for me. The head of the like coloring department where she colors hair was the one who talked to me. So um, she asked me questions about my hair as much as I asked her questions, which I felt like that's probably an indication you want to look for when you go to a salon to get your hair done. Make sure they're asking you questions about your hair because everyone's hair takes differently, and so they need to know as much about your hair as possible so they can give you a kind of like an idea where your hair might look after you're done. I also love this place because they were very honest. They were like, okay, we can get your hair to look somewhere around here, and they brought like out a chart that showed different hair colors. So they gave me kind of like a range of where my hair was gonna look because I was just like, I want the lightest. So they're like, okay, we probably get you around here based on your hair color, based on the fact that you've never gotten your hair colored before, and they took all the information I gave them and they were able to give me something in return and kind of show me where they would be able to go, and they made sure that that's what I wanted before I went through with the process. So I think that's something you should look for if you're going to a salon, is make sure that they are asking about your hair and giving you kind of a realistic um, idea of where your hair is going to look. Don't just trust a salon that's going to tell you, oh yeah, we'll get you where you want to be. You want to be, platinum blonde, we'll get you there. Um, I like how they gave me a range, so I couldn't really be disappointed if it was a bit darker, a bit lighter, because they gave me like, oh, your hair might come out like this dark, or it might come out like this light, so somewhere between there. So I really like that. Um, but anyways, let's talk about what happened in the chair. Um, Basically, my hair length was a problem, and I don't have like super long hair, but it's pretty long when you're bleaching it. So they had to use a lot of product, and they also had to, do the ends first and then work their way up to the roots because the heat from your scalp makes the bleach take faster, and so that's why they use heat, and that's why they do the roots last. So they did all this first. They just did this and then they waited a little bit. And the thing that sucked is that they had to section my hair off. And as the bleach kind of started like drying on my hair, it made my hair really nappy. So they had to like tug and pull at my hair, and that was uncomfortable the first time. The second time they had to do that all over again to section off my hair for my scalp and my roots. And oh my gosh, because my hair was already kind of sore from the first tugging and pulling, this one was a lot worse because all this, like here down or wherever down, was already matted and tangled from the bleach. So they had to like unmat and untangle this and get to the roots, and oh my gosh, pulling out my hair that much was so painful. And usually my head does not hurt that much when you pull my hair. I don't really have a sensitive scalp. So that was really, really uncomfortable. And then obviously you don't feel your hair being bleached down here. You feel it up here because it's touching your scalp and it's by your scalp. So that was so uncomfortable. At first it was kind of like just a tingling sensation. At very first I didn't really feel it, and then later on I was like, oh, I can feel it, like kind of tingles. And they've warned me, they told me what I should be feeling. And then after the tingling it was kind of like an itchy feeling, and then after the itchiness it was kind of like this light hot kind of feeling, and then it's turned into like a burning sensation, especially when they put me under the, I don't know what it's called, but just a chair that puts heat on your hair or in your head or whatever. And that's when it like flared up. It was really uncomfortable, really. I thought it was painful. They were saying uncomfortable, but I found that it was painful. At first it was uncomfortable, but then it started getting painful, and they told me that if I was to experience any extreme discomfort or extreme pain, that they would immediately rinse my hair out and fix anything that needed to be fixed later. However, I did not want to have any like fixings later. I wanted it all done now. So I didn't tell them how uncomfortable I was feeling. I didn't tell them how painful it was, and I decided to just get it all done then and there. So afterwards, they spent a lot of time rinsing my hair out, toning it, because I know I asked for like as light as they could get it. So she spent a lot of time toning it and then washing it, and then she like gave me like a head massage with this like cooling conditioner. I think before she did that she used purple shampoo too to like give it some extra luster, and then she like gave me this head massage with this minty conditioner stuff, and it felt so good because they're a spa too, so they're kind of trained in like massaging. So like I was in that chair for so long just relaxing, so glad to get that burning out of my hair. So it was really nice. And I have a picture when they first like rinsed it out without toning it, and it looks like a bright neon yellow. And my boyfriend was with me, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, Kayla!" Like he told me after, he's like, "I was so scared you were gonna be so mad because your hair turned out bright yellow." He's like, "But then she like used this stuff and it took out that bright yellow," and I was like, "Okay, that's good." And he has a picture of my hair as when it's like bright yellow, and it's just so funny because he thought that my hair was gonna be bright yellow. I probably would have thought so too because I'd never had done bleaching before or seen anybody do bleaching before. So when my hair was all done, it came out to like this, I would say like a darker blonde. It's not like a pale white blonde. It's kind of like a more golden blonde, and the ends ended up darker than the roots, but that's to be expected because this takes so much faster. And but it all like kind of flows. Like you can't really tell that the ends are that much darker than the top. I mean, you can tell if I like notice it or point it out or whatever. But it just like it gradually does it. There's no patchy places. There's nothing. It looks all even. And I was like, okay, thank the gods, because I probably would have botched this totally at home. I would not have had the right products or anything. So now I'm more confident to do it at home because like you can see I got my hair bleached quite a while ago, and I guess it's kind of better that I'm telling you a bit later because you guys can kind of get an idea of what your hair will look like after you've bleached it for a while, and so I can tell you kind of the experience that I've had after having it for a while. So what I noticed is that your hair will start building up this brassiness So what you need to do is get a purple shampoo, and of course my stylist told me that I needed a purple shampoo as well as a sulfate-free shampoo. So I grabbed both of those. And the purple shampoo is every time your hair gets brassy and kind of starts losing its like bright blondness, you go in with purple shampoo, you follow the directions, and since my hair's a darker blonde, I can leave the purple shampoo longer. I hear if your hair's a lighter blonde, you have to be careful because I'll pick up the pigments. So I don't really have to worry about that right now at this color. Um, so, I leave it in for a while and it takes out that brassiness. However, I've noticed that even using the purple shampoo, after a while it starts to not really work, that your hair will just keep the brassiness. It'll take out a little bit, but it seems like over time it starts to start building up. And so I think you need a toner as well, but I didn't buy one. And I'm planning to bleach my hair again so I could get lighter, and so I'll use a toner when I bleach it again the second time, and obviously I need to do my roots. So I'll have the toner then, and I'll kind of shoot two birds with one stone. That's how the saying goes. I almost forgot. Anyways, and after I bleached it, I noticed that your hair does get damaged. People always ask this question, even though I hear the same answer all the time. Your hair will get damaged. And I went in with recently trimmed virgin hair, so my hair was as healthy hair can be. I don't use heat, I don't use straightener, blow dryer, or a curling iron. My hair is pretty natural all the time. And so after I got my hair bleached, I felt like my hair still had like the same fullness. It's not like my hair just went totally limp and died, but I did notice that the ends dried out and started breaking easier. I think because my hair was so healthy that I haven't like suffered that much damage. As you can see, it kind of still has a life of its own, still bouncy. It's not like fried or anything, but it does have a lot more split ends than my hair would typically have. And it's just because it bleached and it breaks a lot easier. So it's not too damaged, but if I bleach it again, it'll probably get worse, and so on and so forth. So it still has a life of its own, but definitely suffered. So when I got it bleached, I looked up how to care for bleached hair, and it said like use deep conditioners. Of course, if you can't buy one, you can use like fruits and stuff, olive oil, avocado, or whatever. I actually didn't really do that. I just I decided to be gentle with my hair, like physically, like I avoided putting it in ponytails and styling it too much. Obviously, I still don't use irons, flat irons or whatever they're called, curling irons or blow dryers, and I decided to wide tooth comb my hair instead of brush it because it takes care of tangles a lot more gently, because you can actually find the tangle and undo it and then brush it out gently. And then I have this kind of milk protein and olive oil stuff that I felt would give vitamins back into my hair, so I put this in and leave it in. I also have this like split end protector by Aussie, and it smells so good. And so that's what I use. I didn't really use a deep conditioner, and my hair so far hasn't suffered a lot of damage, but I do know every time you bleach it, it will suffer damage. So I'm kind of scared to see what will happen during the bleaching number 2 when I touch up my roots and go lighter. And since I'm doing this time at home, I'm going to be so scared. So you guys are probably going to get an update about that and see if I totally botched my hair. So if you guys have any questions that I didn't answer about bleaching and going to a salon, obviously I can't tell you anything about at-home bleaching, but if you have any questions about going to a salon and bleaching, I'll try to answer to the best of my ability, because obviously it depends on the salon for a lot of the questions. And yeah, I'll try to answer to the best of my ability. So thank you for your time. Bye.